As always, donate to Jumpstart. Jumpstart helps economically disadvantaged kids play team sports, which is something that's near and dear to Rachel and I's hearts. So if you go to the links in this description below, pretty much all the information that you will need to donate is there. So we really encourage you, if you can, to do so. Again, it's a great cause. We love Jumpstart. They are our charity of choice. If you can, please donate. Welcome, everybody. I was just about to say it's the Staff and Graph podcast. It is not anymore. It is the Puck Social podcast. I apparently have stepped into a time machine and gone back to the year 2023. Or 24, I guess. Rachel, we're speaking about food, and I think this would really make you happy. Is that, like, so it's so funny working, like, you know, what it used to be is, like, you know, you're covering games, you're a beat writer, you're all that kind of stuff. It, like, you just kind of ate whenever you could. Like, your schedule was so weird, like, that you just kind of ate whatever you could. Now, I work, like, an office job, 9 to 5, or most nights 9 to 6, like, you know, 8:30 to 6, you know, all that kind of stuff. But you get home and you have designated dinner time. And it's crazy. So I'm having to learn, like, not learn, I already know how to cook, but just, like, come up with different things to eat every night and, you know, try and make them healthy too. You know, I'm running a lot, like, all that kind of stuff. So I try and make it healthy.
You run? I did not know this.
I know. I'm definitely not obnoxious about it at all. But I'm definitely not doing that after we record this podcast either. But I've found I like, you love McDonald's.
Yes.
And
that is an established fact.
That is, as we will get into later on the show. I cannot, like, I can. I just, like, probably shouldn't be eating McDonald's anymore. You know, I'm trying to be a healthy boy. And so
Okay.
I have found a way to make my own healthy homemade McChicken. And it is awesome. And that's what I'm going to have for dinner right after we record this podcast. I didn't have time to eat it. But it is just
That's
cooling.
fire. That's fire.
Because we're going to get into some food because we're going to go through our master's dinners. But let me just say, an air fryer is a lovely thing. And
you saw how much I used it at my condo.
oh, yeah. Like, I got to tell you, man, there's certain things that an air fryer can't do very well. It doesn't do battered stuff very well. It just kind of bakes it. It doesn't fry it.
Right.
So, like, I remember one time I tried to make onion rings in an air fryer, and it just turned out to be like onion cake, kind of. Which is not what you want.
Dude. Ew.
Definitely not what you want. But when it comes to doing, like, you know, you get minced chicken, you throw a bunch of spices in there, you put it into patties, you put it in the freezer, you let it freeze for like 5 minutes, you take it out, and you just dust some breadcrumbs over it, toss it in an air fryer. You have it air fry the crap out of it for, you know, 15 minutes, and then you toss it on a bun with some lettuce and mayo. Boom. That's a McChicken.
All right.
And that is as healthy as it gets. But
well, air frying is obviously way healthier than deep frying because lack of oil.
Oh yeah, and it's just so easy. I love it. It's just, this is the thing. Like, ever since I left hockey media and have lived like a normal life, I've just come to appreciate these, like, small luxuries in life. And like I've been going to Costco lately. Holy shit, Costco is incredible. Costco's like the greatest place on earth. Like, I'd never been before because I couldn't afford, like, I wasn't getting paid enough to be able to go to Costco. Now I am.
And the thing is in Costco, like, if you get the right stuff, you save in the long run.
Oh, you save so much money. Like, my fridge is just all meat. You know, if I had bought that from the grocery, it's like meat and BioSteel. And if I had bought that from the grocery store,
$1 zillion.
I'd be screwed. Like, so I was there with my dad on Saturday. And I know that's a tough time, like, going to Costco on Saturday, but it actually wasn't that bad. Like, it was busy. Don't get me wrong. Busy, but wasn't that bad.
Not unruly? Like, did you see any unruly behavior?
Not really unruly, just sort of, like, obliviously annoying. Like, the people who, because they put the samples at the end of the aisle. So when you're walking to the aisle, like, you're walking down the aisle, someone will, like, stop to get a sample, and it will create, like, a huge traffic jam. I'm just like, dude, just do a drive-by. That's how you do it. You
Or
just keep walking.
the thing is where they put them, like, sample etiquette at Costco is if you're gonna stop and get a sample, you don't take up the aisle because the sample thing is already taking up part of the aisle. You go and you go around in front of the sample counter so you're not taking up extra space. Sample etiquette, people, come on.
Exactly. People don't get this, but you just do a drive-by. You just
say
don't really
thanks for
even
coming.
stop. You just thank you. Lovely. Ooh, this is nice. But we got the my dad and I looked at each other. We're like, it was like noon. We're like, let's get the hot dog. Like, come on. Let's get the hot dog.
$1.50. Let's go.
I was misinformed because I thought it was just the hot dog for $1.50. No,
sir.
because someone handed me because I got 2 hot dogs. Like, that's what I ordered, and then so I go up and get the hot dogs, and someone hands me two cups, and I go like, oh, and in my mind, I'm just not gonna, they clearly thought that I ordered, because it's pretty busy, so they clearly thought I ordered 2 drinks, but I didn't. So I'm just not gonna correct them. I'm just gonna take it and keep walking. So I go up to my dad, I'm like, yeah, here's our hot dog, and hey, they gave us 2 free drinks, and they're like, what are you talking about? Like, you got the hot dog, right? I'm like, yeah, it was $1.50, it was great. It's like, no, it comes with a drink. I'm like, what?
This is the thing, is you will go somewhere else and you'll order you go to a hot dog cart and it's you get a hot dog and a drink and it's $7 now. Or you go to another fast food chain and sorry, we gotta charge you an extra $2 for the drink. I'm like, do not lie. I know that cup cost you 10 cents. Don't tell me, specifically fast food chains like McDonald's, Taco Bell, do not tell me you have to raise your drink prices and you can't do dollar drink days anymore because of, quote, inflation. Costco is a hot dog and a drink for $1.50. You can keep your dollar drink days, and if you can't, you lying.
I was going to say, it used to be dollar drink days, now it's summer drink days. Ridiculous. And
yeah, nonsense.
My favorite story ever is because Costco is a publicly traded company, but they have a board of directors, and their meeting minutes, someone takes minutes in their board meetings. Someone got a hold of them, and it was around COVID, maybe right before, right after. There was a board meeting, and the owner of Costco, the founder, the person, there's obviously a board of directors, but this person,
but he's the founder. He's the majority.
Say. Yeah, he's the majority. I think he's the majority shareholder, so he's still he can veto basically. And they brought up increasing the price of the hot dog combo to $3.50 or something or more, because they're it's inflation and we got and the actual line, because we have the actual minutes from the meeting. So the documented line was someone suggested, and then he went, if you change the price of the hot dog, I will kill you.
And you know what? We love him for that.
And you know what? Let me just say, not to get woke here, but Costco has seen, I believe it's a month-to-month increase in foot traffic, and they're one of the only companies that didn't scale back DEI. So I'm just saying, they seem to be a pretty good company.
Seem to be pretty good to me.
Yeah, but speaking of the opposite of DEI, the Masters.
Literally the opposite of DEI.
White man's paradise, called the Masters. I don't know jack crap about golf. Never been a huge golfer.
I'm literally with a a golf professional, so
I don't know anything about golf. However, I do know about food.
True.
And you know about food. We both know about food. And one of the best parts of the Masters is the Masters dinner. The winner gets to select a menu that is feasted on by all the Masters, participants.
No.
Oh, no, it's not.
Mike is out. Done. Get out.
Okay, you explain. You explain.
So,
take it away.
So, during Masters Week, the Masters dinner, in order to be invited to the dinner, you have to be a previous champion of the Masters. So there's dudes that are there from 1970 that are still bussing around, And the other thing about the Masters is the reason they show up is because if you win the Masters, it's the only major where it is a lifetime exemption to play. So much so that a man named Angel Cabrera is playing in it this year after serving a 3-year prison sentence for domestic violence. Mike's face right now is priceless. Yeah,
Yikes.
When they said lifetime exemption, they were not messing around. They did not revoke that. So, and because he's a champion, he was allowed to go to the dinner. So basically, what happens is the champion of the previous year, so Scotty Scheffler this year, gets to pick a menu, and it's an appetizer, a choice of meal, and then a dessert. And every champion who wants to attend is welcome to attend the dinner. Hideki Matsuyama had an absolutely fire master. He had A5 Wagyu steak, sushi.
Spoiler.
Like,
I'm gonna go through
unreal.
it. I'm gonna go through some. So here's an example of some former Masters dinners. So we had Jordan Spieth, 2016,
and it's
Masters-
usually a nod to where they're from, like
Yes.
their roots.
Yeah. So his was a local greens salad. It's funny how like some of these guys are like the most basic white guys ever, and you'll probably see that in mine too. And then they're like when we list ours, and then there's some that like just go like sort of buck wild here. But Jordan Spieth was local green salad, which is heirloom tomatoes, cucumber, shaved red onion, balsamic vinaigrette, corn muffins, authentic Texas barbecue. So that's beef brisket, smoked half chicken, pork ribs, barbecue baked beans, bacon and chive, potato salad, sautéed spring beans, greens, all that, and then a warm chocolate chip cookie.
So that man said Texas.
You said Texas comfort food, let's go. Like you said, Hideki Matsuyama, his appetizer was assorted sushi, sashimi, and nigiri, and yakitori chicken skewers, and then he had miso glazed black cod, and with dashi broth, and Miyazaki Wagyu, all Wagyu beef ribeye with mixed mushrooms and vegetables, and then he had Japanese strawberry shortcake.
Which, if you haven't had, Japanese strawberry shortcake is the best strawberry shortcake out there, by far.
A lot of these guys, like Scotty Scheffler, his appetizers. Keep in mind, a lot of these guys have done their appetizers or salads. Scotty Scheffler's appetizers were cheeseburger sliders and firecracker shrimp, tortilla soup, and then Texas ribeye steak or blackened redfish, and then obviously a warm chocolate chip skillet cookie.
It's pretty fire.
Sounds pretty goddamn good to me. So Rachel, which begs the question. Let's say, Rachel Dory breaks the gender barrier. You're in the Masters.
Is allowed to play at Augusta.
Exactly. You break the gender barrier at Augusta now. And you win the Masters. What is your Masters dinner?
Yeah.
And I need to take me through all 3 courses. And I'm going to add something else. You need to then have a drink. And you're not allowed to just say Coca-Cola. Okay? As I know that's what you were going to say.
This man knows. Okay, so my starter would be a caprese salad.
Okay.
With margarita pizza to share. So, like, everybody gets, like, you kind of thing. Napoli-style margarita pizza, to be certain. And then I would have a choice. I would have a seafood risotto. Mm-hmm. Or I would have a chicken penne alla vodka for my 2, like, meal choices. So you get one of each. Like, basically choose one. And then for dessert, hands down, chocolate mousse with creme fraiche. And then as a drink, I would do a Gosling's and Kel Surprise Coke.
Amazing.
Yeah. That's my Masters dinner, I think. I just... I wanted sushi in there. I wanted steak, but I'm like, it doesn't go with the Italian theme, so we just can't do it. What's your Masters dinner, Mr.
I like that. I like yours. Like, I like that it has options. And I like how I was a little worried when you said just like cheese pizza, because I'm like, we need some protein in there. But
Yeah,
then,
no.
but then you add it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we came with the protein.
Now here's the thing about my Masters meal is it's my day, and I'm allowed to choose what I want.
Well, okay, so to be clear, Mike told me I wasn't allowed to have McDonald's chicken nuggets.
I never said such a thing. You said.
You said no chicken nuggets.
You could have said chicken. You could have said like gourmet chicken nuggets. You could have said
No. I want McDonald's
hand-breasted,
chicken nuggets.
free range, farm to table. They bring the chicken out in front of you. You name it. You get you become friends with it, and then they kill it in front of you, kind of thing. Like,
This is a conversation for another day. But eventually on this show, we're gonna have to have a chat about the difference between American chicken nuggets and Canadian chicken nuggets, because there is a big difference, and I am pissed.
Why don't we have a brief conversation about that right now? I'm actually intrigued.
So McDonald's has a deal in the United States. First of all, the amount of food you can get at McDonald's for like almost nothing is unfathomable. It's terrifying. So if you order like a regular meal, you just get 6 nuggets for free, which is crazy.
What?
I know. Yeah, they just be handing you 6 nuggets. But here's the thing. I was like, that seems odd. So in Canada, we have different food standards for our fast food chains. And the reason I found this out is because I was like, these chicken nuggets in the United States do not taste the same. They kind of taste like paste, if you will.
Have you ever seen what they look like before they go into chicken nuggets? They literally are.
No. So, whereas, like, when I take a bite of a chicken nugget in Stouffville, where I live, I bite it and there's chicken in there. Like, I can see the chicken. So I'm like,
it's smiling back out at you. It's clucking.
Like, in the U.S., at least where I live, I take a bite and it's literally like it's like avocado consistency, but like cooked.
Ooh.
It's just not appetizing at all. So I can understand why they're giving them away for free, because if I'm being honest, it's probably not chicken.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, so I'm not happy because Mike knows this, and if you have been a devout listener of this show, you know how I feel about the chicken nugs. And now I can't get my chicken nugs unless I'm at home, and this is some BS. Can we just have, like, one, proper food standards across the board, but 2, man, I'm trying to have a chicken nugget, not a pasty nugget. I don't want paste. So, McDonald's, I'm pissed. Fix it. But I will point out, the ice cream machine has never been broken. So, win some, lose some.
Yeah, exactly. You take and you give. Wow, I did not know that.
So give me your master's dinner so I stop thinking about nugget paste.
Okay, so my master's dinner would be, to start, it would be a Caesar salad with grilled chicken. I love that. And sometimes with the chicken, you put a little sprinkle of parm over it so it gets a little bit of a crust to it, when you throw it down on the grill. So I think that's really nice. And then as my other appetizer, I'm going mozzarella sticks.
Oh!
Tossing some mozzarella sticks in there. And if I wanted to get even crazier, I would have gone deep fried pickles, but I wanted to keep it somewhat classy.
We love the deep fried pickles.
Yeah.
They're so good.
So that's the appetizer. And as a main, now you had a pasta. I was worried when you started to say, but
I had a pasta and a risotto. We had options.
You did. I'm going to go fettuccine Alfredo. Again, with grilled chicken. And then on the other side, there is no, like, you would think, oh, this is like Italian theme. No. Because on the other side, we're going General So chicken with chow mein noodles.
Ooh! Man after my half Asian heart.
I love my Asian queens out there. That includes you, Rachel.
But mostly my sister.
But mostly your sister, yes. And then for dessert, some strawberry shortcake with angel food cake on it instead of shortcake. I love it. And then
Fire.
And then for my signature drink, I'm actually not going alcoholic with this.
Oh.
It's a zero sugar root beer float.
Oh. Okay, so number one,
Had a lot of time to think about this.
what a great idea. What a great idea. Number two, I have never had a root beer float.
You really?
So when I was at Disney World, when I was a kid, my dad, I was like 6 years old. My dad we went to like, there's a place where they only serve floats. But I was a big Coke girl.
You're a Coke
so
head,
I got,
Ron.
yeah, I was a Coke head.
Yeah.
All right. I got a Coke float. So, I don't know. I've just never had a root beer float. Maybe because I don't drink root beer. Like, I've never had root beer, so...
You've never
that
had
might be
root beer?
Never.
I wonder if you'd like it. Because it's like...
Am I going to have homework? I have to do root beer?
Yeah,
I have
you
to
do.
have root beer
You
this
have
week?
homework.
All right.
I wonder, because it's kind of like an acquired taste, kind of. I feel like if you haven't had it by now, it might seem like it...
Is it
like,
better plain or as a float?
I can take it straight. I can take it on, on the rocks or on the
I
snow.
can take
I
it
guess.
straight!
I can take it straight,
What is this, vodka?
Yeah, some vintages. Well, the funny thing about root beer is like the way they brand it is like it comes in like a barrel. It doesn't really, but like the way they brand it is like it's always like comes in a cask or a barrel. I'm like, no, it doesn't.
Okay.
But it's fun. However,
right.
it's the one like sort of zero sugar drink that they haven't been able to perfect. Because like I love me like my zero sugar pop because I love pop.
Oh, we had a conversation last week about your zero sugar Dr. Pepper.
Yeah,
Or
actually,
Coke, yeah, whatever it was.
Actually, hold on.
Mike forgot to have his zero sugar Dr. Pepper for this episode.
No, it's not.
And
You think it's Dr. Pepper. Zero sugar Mountain Dew today.
wow. Okay, that's the other thing. I've never had Mountain Dew.
It's
I don't like overly, and I mean, if I like Coke, this should be a dead giveaway. I don't like overly sugary drinks.
yeah, this
Like
is definitely
sweet. I like bitter.
yeah, this is definitely not bitter, but it's also if it's zero sugar, you're good.
Right. All right.
It's basically health food. But yeah,
That's Mike's Master's dinner. I like it.
That made me hungry. But yeah.
Mike has to go for a run after this. He now hates me.
Well, I got to eat some dinner first. I didn't have time. I got home at like 5, and then
yeah, because you got a real job.
I know.
He's a working boy.
I'm a working man, working 9 to 5. What a way! Well, it's definitely not.
I
9 to
have a
5
question.
anymore.
Speaking of
Yep.
working boy,
Yeah.
how did our friend, your colleague, react to Luka Doncic returning to Dallas?
I'm glad you brought this up. I'm glad you brought this up.
Have been dying to know.
For people who don't know the backstory behind this, perhaps this is your first episode. My best pal at work, shout out Nick. His name's Nick.
Okay, so wait, you have a Nick and I have a Nick?
I have a Nick. Yeah, the most
This is
important
dope.
man in my life is Nick. It's just like you.
True.
He is a He was born in Alberta. So he is a big Edmonton Oilers, and because he's I think 6'2", I think. So like he grew up playing basketball, and he loves Steve Nash. So he was a huge basketball fan. But when Steve Nash was on the Mavericks when he was growing up, because I think he's like 3 or 4 years older than me, which I like to remind him of all the time.
Old man.
Exactly. So he's a huge Dallas Mavericks fan. So suffice it to say, last June was not a great month for him.
Nope. Both teams losing in the finals. Ouchie.
Exactly. However,
Was
It's
it
been a
better
rough
or
time.
worse than when Luka got traded?
so he, like I say, every day I've been at my company for over a year now, and every day up until basically February 14th, he would wear a Dallas Mavericks backpack to work, like every day. Like it was a Dallas Mavericks backpack. That backpack, I have not seen it since then.
Oh no.
He has gotten rid of it. And he says that his like girlfriend put it under his bed or something. I think he threw it out Like that's my opinion.
That thing is in a Toronto dump.
Exactly. And he, so the first thing he said to me this morning, get in. I had a couple conference calls in the morning, and then, at about 10 or something, I got off. He showed me a video, and it was a video of a woman walking into their apartment, and like the man, her, I'm assuming partner, sitting on the couch watching Luka's like game with a single tear rolling down his face. And he was like, that was literally what happened to me last night. He's like, my girlfriend went out for like drinks with her friends. So I was watching it, and she came in, and I was just holding a beer like on the couch. And she's like, is it Luka again? He's like, yeah.
Oh man, that guy's down so bad.
He's in a very interesting spot right now because he loves Luka. And so he wants to keep cheering for him, but he's like, I don't know if I can be a Lakers fan, but he's basically like, if Luka goes pretty much anywhere else that's not like the Celtics, I think this guy will become a fan of the team that Luka goes to. But he's like, I don't know if I can. The
Lakers are a tough one.
Like this is
the Lakers are that would be like cheering for like the bane of the NHL.
Yeah, like the Yankees or like like you can't like it's. And I was thinking
like
too,
I'm marrying a Yankees fan. And like like he was born in New York. Like he is a legit. He's a New York sports fan. He's a Yankees fan, a Giants fan, a Knicks fan. Like he's a New York fan. He's not like he's a bandwagoner from like Ohio.
Not Jets, huh? Giants?
No, he's a Giants fan.
Okay.
And so he's like, yeah, we'll get you Yankees apparel. And I was like, no.
Mm-mm.
No,
nope.
we will
no,
not.
You won't.
We will not do that.
Not a chance you're going to be doing
The
that.
only thing we're going to bond over is our mutual hate of the Boston Red Sox.
Mm-hmm.
And
exactly.
Tampa.
If you're Nico Harrison, like...
Oh, man, how did you even go to that game? Like, come on.
But I'm like, how do you, like, live your life? Like, you got to go grocery shopping at some point, right? You got to, like, go to the pharmacy to, like... You gotta, I don't know, like walk your dog. You gotta.
Maybe
like,
his wife does that.
So does he just stay inside all day? Like, how you gotta like go to work? Like, you gotta.
Mike, I just want to point out that Nico Harrison has a wife and you don't.
Yeah, well, you know what? I didn't trade Luka Doncic, so I'll take
He's so depressed right now.
I didn't trade Luka Doncic for the corpse of Anthony Davis, and Max Christie. Okay, so I think things are going pretty well for me. I can walk outside and not get accosted.
And people aren't chanting for your head.
Exactly, but I'm thinking how does this guy like function as a human being right now? Like, how does he go about his day? How does he like?
Today, it came out today that like the Mavericks are expected to lose like over $100 million over the span of Luka's contract because people are like canceling their season tickets and crowds are dwindling, and it's like, and this is why you have to get ownership approval to be trading somebody of Luka's stature. Like,
I've never seen karma play out the way it has, because they're like, all right, so we don't think that Luka like we're going all in. We think that Anthony Davis fits our current roster better. We believe in Kyrie Irving to like sort of be the offensive focal point. Like, okay, we'll do that. And then so they acquire Anthony Davis. He immediately gets hurt. And then
literally like a week later.
No, not like 13 minutes into his first game. he went down 13 minutes, and it was a non-contact injury. And funny enough, it was like a torn, like not torn, but like a strained adductor. If you actually look at the injury, it looks like a ghost punched him in the balls. Because he just grabs he goes up for something, no one's near him. And then he just grabs his groin and like crumples to the ground. It looks like someone invisible walked up and punched him in the nuts.
That's so tough.
And then basically, like, not even a week later, Kyrie Irving tears his ACL.
Yeah,
so your window is done, because not only is he done for this year, he's going to be done for like most of next year. Exactly. Like, he's not a young man.
Yeah, that window.
And then everyone on the roster gets hurt. They were putting out rosters with only 8 players.
Karma is the guy on the basketball team.
Exactly. And then they traded Quentin Grimes.
Straight up losing his knee.
They traded Quentin Grimes.
Oh my God, who's now averaging like 29 points per game.
Who immediately put up 45 points. Like, immediately. after getting to the 70. The
And this
76ers, another team who's like cursed.
Don't forget, he also traded Jalen Brunson.
No, he didn't trade him. He like just decided not to give him a very reasonable extension. And so let him like walk to the Knicks.
So let me get the Dallas Mavericks could have Kyrie Irving, Jalen Brunson, Luka Doncic, and Quentin Grimes, and have none of them right now because Kyrie's hurt.
Yeah.
Really well done. 10 out of 10. Mm-hmm. You know what Nico Harrison is? The anti-Brian McClellan. Because Brian McClellan took a rebuilding Cavs team that was like a corpse, and all they were going to care about was Ovechkin's record, and they might win the President's Trophy this year.
It's funny, they might win the President's Trophy this year, and yet they'll get into the playoffs, and they'll likely have to play a Habs team that is adding Ivan Demidov.
By the way, sick. He's sick.
History tends to repeat itself, you know?
Why would happen last time Montreal played Washington, Mike?
Nothing. Nothing happened. Nothing of note.
Was that maybe a 1 versus 8 seed too?
It sure was. But Alexander Ovechkin is the...
That guy.
Yes, that guy right there. He's the NHL's all-time leading scorer.
He's good at hockey.
And look, man, it's been talked to death, so I just want to say, and then we'll never talk about it again, I am glad that Wayne Gretzky has been booted from the record book, at least like in one aspect.
In fairness though, like it's not like there aren't issues with the new record holder.
Alex Ovechkin is not Mr. Woke, okay? Like he's not.
But it is dope that he broke that record. Because honestly, do you remember they were playing it like in the lead up, but he had to sit down with Elliot Friedman, and this was when Dale Hunter was the coach in Washington.
Oh my God, yeah.
Which was like, that was painful to watch.
Tried to make Alex Ovechkin like play like freaking Dave Steckel, like
yeah, like
it was
it's just unbelievable. And he was like, no, it's impossible to break that record. Like, it's completely impossible. But then there was another interview that surfaced, and it was from, I believe it was like John Carlson was 22 or something in this video. And John Carlson is in his mid-30s
He's 35 right now.
Yeah. So we're talking like years ago. And basically this video is Ovechkin, Carlson, and Linda Cohn sitting down. And Linda Cohn goes, what are you going to do if you break the record? And Ovechkin goes, I'm out. I'm taking my skates off. I'm retiring. Goodbye immediately. So when he broke the record and the game resumed, the Caps social team did a callback and tweeted out, the game has resumed and we are happy to report Alex Ovechkin is still playing.
That's absolutely insane.
Just honestly incredible. Here's a fun little stat for you, though. Fun little piece of trivia.
I love fun little stats.
Both Ovechkin and Gretzky broke the respective goals record against the Islanders. So Gretzky broke Howe's record against the Islanders, and Ovechkin broke Gretzky's record against the Islanders.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And they did it like within one game of each other too, career-wise.
Yeah, Ovechkin tied his record in the same amount of games, or no, in one game less, and then scored 895 in the exact same amount of games Gretzky had 894.
That's
and
absurd.
On like the 20th anniversary or 21st anniversary of the Caps winning the draft lottery to draft him. Like, hockey, man. It's just seeing that record fall. Like, I would have loved if he scored a hat trick against Chicago. Like, I think that would have been cool. But the reality is, I really, really wanted it to be a signature Ovechkin goal. And outside of it being like a one-timer, it was on the power play, it was from the Ovechkin spot, and it was a shot that how many guys are going to be able to make? 3? Maybe?
The only way it could have been more perfect is if it was at home and it was a one-timer. That's it. Like,
That's
other
it,
than that,
yeah.
it was perfect. And even like in division, you know, like on Long Island, he's given them fits. Like forever, against his friend Ilya Sorokin, you know, like it worked out great.
And now, the Leafs aren't the only team that lets their player down because your guy literally broke one of the most sacred records in hockey, and you lost the game.
See, but the thing is, they didn't give a crap. Like, they don't
Oh,
care.
they did not care.
And you know what I find? Like, do you remember during the bubble where the Caps were just like, we don't care. We are going to have,
yes.
like, we're going to have pool parties, and we're, like, you know.
Yeah, they literally did.
Like they were the defending cup champs, and they're like, we
don't care.
You know, we don't care. Like, we're just going to go. We're going to have a free hotel stay for a little while, have some pool parties, play pickleball, and then go home.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And I loved that Ovechkin, because the ice was so shit, he fell and was in the exact same position as the photo that was taken of him swimming in the fountain when he
it was
won
amazing.
the cup.
It was just amazing.
Oh man, like, it's just I'm seeing all these people be like, we have to rename the Rocket Richard the Ovechkin Award. No, we don't, because here's the thing. The Rocket Richard Trophy is not only named because he retired as the first ever leading goal scorer in league history. If you don't know who Rocket Richard is or what he stood for, I highly recommend that you Google it. I am intimately familiar with it, given that my stepfather is a Richard. But, like, he was protesting the NHL and incited a literal riot against Clarence Campbell, and got some stuff done. Like, he was doing things for the greater good, similar to renaming the Lester B. Pearson Award the Ted Lindsay Award, because Ted Lindsay is the reason we have a Players Association. When you have guys who have had a profoundly positive impact, not just with their skill, but, like, actually on the game, Maurice Richard, Ted Lindsay, like, that is who you name the awards after. Like, that.
Absolutely. So we talk, like, Ovechkin. This was a record that a lot of people thought would never get broken. Like,
right.
Given the way that scoring was going, because the 80s were just an absolutely absurd amount of offense, and we're now somewhat in a renaissance of, like, offense. I mean, look at the scoreboards from
Wednesday night.
From Wednesday night.
7-6.
It was crazy. The Leafs won 4-3 in overtime, and it was the lowest scoring game of the night. Like, it was
Every
crazy.
single game went over last night.
Yeah.
Also, shout out Matthew Nyes. That man lost his college hockey final in Amalie Arena and decided, I am never losing in that building again.
He is on a path of vengeance. But we talk about records that'll never get broken. And I thought we'd go through a couple and see if there's any chance, because Ovechkin breaking this record has kind of reopened the conversation about what can be broken.
Yeah, I think there's certainly 3 hockey records that I think will never get touched, just because of the way the game is. Gretzky's points record.
Yeah.
Gretzky's assists record.
Yeah.
And Martin Brodeur's most wins in a season or something like that, because he played like 74 games one year.
Yeah. To be fair though, who was it? There is a goalie who has started 21 straight games.
Vejmelka,
which is nuts.
And but he's not winning like
that's
60
21.
odd. Yeah, not 74.
I thought we'd start with one right out the gate here. It's Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game.
No.
I think it will.
You think that's gonna get broken?
Listen, Kobe Bryant scored 81 during an era when I think this might be controversial. Kobe Bryant scored 81 during an era when, like, games would end like 91-70. You know,
Who did he score 81 against, Mike?
Toronto Raptors. But you know, it's fine. We love to be part of history.
Every goddamn time.
Every goddamn time. I think that, like, you have a guy like Luka Doncic who scored 70. You know, I think if a guy like that, because there's also teams that tank a lot more than they used to. I think if there's a guy who goes out there one night and just goes, I am going to set this record. Because also, we don't have video footage of Wilt Chamberlain setting this record. There's a big conspiracy theory out there that he never did it.
So my only thing, do I think somebody like Luka could do it? Yes. Here's my concern.
Mm-hmm.
The NBA's new name is the National Blowout Association, and the problem that you have is if a guy's going to score 100, their team is going to be up by like 50 points. By the time they get to the fourth quarter, even if they're on this tear, like their coach is going to be like, oh, you're sitting. If that wasn't the case, then yes, I absolutely think that Luka or somebody could do it. It's just the way that the NBA has shifted in terms of like player rest and all this other garbage that makes me wonder, like, is it even going to be possible, because will the coaches allow it? Now, having said that, if a guy has 80 points going into the fourth quarter and you don't let him play, you should lose your job on the spot.
It would have to be like a concerted effort. Like, it would have to be like, all right, I'm going out there, coach, I'm going to set this record. Like, you do not pull me. It's like a guy going for a perfect game.
Right, if it's a game that, like, doesn't matter. Let's say you've locked up, like, top spot, or, like, you're that Colorado Avalanche right now, and, like, you're locked into third spot. So, like, let's say, like, somebody in the NBA, or if they're locked into third spot, they can't do anything. All right, let this guy go out and just buzz around. Just say, okay, everybody give the ball to Luka, or give the ball to LeBron, whoever. Like, honestly, if Steph Curry had one of those whack-ass shooting games, as he does every so often, he could do it. That guy drained like 14 threes 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. I even think like remember that there was a game where Klay Thompson scored 31 points in a quarter.
Yeah, that was wild.
That's 120 points in a game if he keeps that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's another basketball one for you. And this one, unless there's a rule change, I don't think could be broken. But what I want to go through, and we'll do a couple of these, is like I want us to say whether we think it could be broken, and I want us to present a path towards how it could be broken.
All right.
And this one is Rasheed Wallace's record for most technical fouls in a season.
Whoa!
In 2001, 2002, Rasheed Wallace, who was with the Portland Trailblazers at the time, racked up 41 technical fouls. It's one every other game. He broke the previous record of 38, which he had set before himself.
Okay, you know who's breaking this record?
Who?
Draymond Green.
Yep.
Yep.
Honestly, I'm going to say if he hasn't already, I don't think he will. I don't think he's got the dog in him to do that. However, the NBA created a rule in 2005 where essentially if you hit 16 technical fouls in a season, you get suspended a game.
Okay.
And then every 2 technical fouls after that, you get suspended another game.
So you can't.
So it's impossible. Like the
can't.
Math doesn't make sense. Like,
it doesn't.
Even if you decide to do that, like there is not enough runway.
No, there's not. No, there's not.
So there is no path for them to be broken unless they change the rule.
Right. Yeah. Because then it would be Draymond.
Exactly. There's one I think could be broken. It's Jerry Rice's career receiving yards.
I think that could be broken for sure.
Which is
with the way the game is now.
22,895. So he breached the 1,000-yard barrier 14 times, including six 6 years of 1,400 plus. And the main thing that will keep this, I think, I think this could get broken. Justin Jefferson is clearly the person who could potentially break it.
Him or Jamar Chase with the way Joe Burrow throws the ball.
Definitely. But the only thing is that Jerry Rice played 20 years. And aside from 2 seasons where he missed some time, every other season he played 16 games. And now, however, there is 17 games now in the schedule.
Right.
That could help.
Yeah.
Do you think that this could be broken? Or do you think this will be broken?
I want to know how many Jamar Chase has now. But I think with the way the game is and the fact that there's more of a focus on throwing, and like Jamar Chase had like 2 or 3 games this year where he had almost 300 yards. Like that guy's banana pants. And there's a lot more play action now. There's a lot more guys who can absolutely sling the ball. Obviously Joe Burrow being one of them. Do I think it's likely that it gets broken? No. Do I think it could get broken? Yeah, like imagine for 1 second, if Justin Jefferson had Patrick Mahomes as his quarterback. I think we're having a very different conversation at that point.
I think we are too. We have two.
Like,
we have
that's
two
no
more.
disrespect for J.J. McCarthy, but like Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but we're in a different league here. We got two more. They're both baseball, and I think these are the most impossible ones to be broken. But we'll see. This one is Cy Young's career complete game. record.
Yeah. Analytics, it's never getting touched.
Cy Young. This is also crazy. Cy Young, the guy who the pitcher of the year trophy is named after. He had 815 total starts in his career. It's a lot.
Okay. That's a lot.
How many complete games do you think he threw? And complete games is you get through 9.
83.
You serious? Out of 815 starts?
Yeah, 83.
He threw 749 career complete games.
Excuse me?
Out of 815 starts, he threw 749 complete games.
What?
Yeah. That's what, 66 starts, didn't go complete, and that's it? That's it.
I have to look that up. There's no way that's correct. There's, like, literally, what?
No, it's... Cy Young tallied 815 starts and threw 749 complete games. To put that in perspective, Justin Verlander...
Oh my god!
Justin Verlander, guy's been pitching for almost 20 years at this point. I believe he's the active leader. How many complete games do you think he's thrown?
Doesn't he have like 42 or something like that?
26.
Yeah, like...
This will never get broken. Like, there is no fathomable, unless medical
Dude,
science...
people aren't going to get 100, never mind 700.
No, unless medical science, the only path that this is going to happen is medical science gets to a way where you can make arm tendons invincible.
Yeah, UCLs, just goodbye. Okay, so remember like a couple weeks ago when we were having a discussion about Paul Skeens?
Yeah.
I'm going to comfortably say Paul Skeens is really good. He's not going to be as good as Cy Young.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, obviously, like, pitchers throw harder than ever this year. It's harder, like, batters are better than ever this year.
This man finished...
happening.
Okay, so he had 815 starts and 749 career
Yes.
complete games. So he had a complete game percentage of 92.
That's absolutely insane.
Just so
That's
we're
insane.
clear. And the only reason I know this is because I was looking at it the other day. The average MLB starting pitcher doesn't get through 5 innings in more than 80% of their starts.
It's like a different world, like back in the day. It's crazy.
Bro. And this dude's completing 92% of his games? Come on.
This last one, though, it's another baseball one. I think baseball fans know where I'm going with this one. It's Cal Ripken Jr.'s consecutive games record.
Yeah, that's...
2,632 consecutive games.
Man, we got dudes taking days off, like, for finger soreness now.
Cody Bellinger ate hot wings and it made him sick and he didn't play on Wednesday.
Cal
Literally.
Ripken would be... He'd call him a peasant. And I love Cody Bellinger.
That is 8,243 consecutive innings that span from June 1982 to September 1997.
Bro, okay, so this consecutive game streak started
15 years long.
14 years before we were born.
Yeah.
And ended when we were 1.5.
Yes.
Was there a player last year who played every single game?
There might be a couple, but it is very rare. It's almost like unheard of. Like, you at least take one day or like
maintenance day. And I'm not saying DH does not count. Like,
no, but I mean, like, you keep in mind, like, Cal Ripken played the field too. He was like second baseman. Like, it's like you.
Yeah, this guy's not. That's what I'm saying. Like, this guy wasn't just DH.
He's not a DH. He's not a pinch hitter.
That doesn't count.
Like, that's absurd. And like,
donkulous.
not to be like, not to sound like a boomer here, but like, we just don't do it like we used to. And I think maybe it makes for a better product, but that's crazy. That's just insane.
That is, that's kind of nuts.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of nuts.
Again,
wow.
The only way that could get broken is if medical science evolves to a point where like you can basically either play through any injury, like you take like a pill and it takes the sensation of pain away completely for 3 hours or whatever.
And also just strengthens your UCL if you're a pitcher. So the Martin Brodeur record, he had 691 wins as a goaltender. For some cute math purposes, you would have to average 69 wins a season for 10 years, and here's the thing, is the average lifespan of an NHL goalie, like a starting goalie of that quality, is about 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
You would have to have more than 50 wins in every single one of those years, and the average NHL starting goalie right now is only starting 59 games. What are you going to do, go 54-5?
Didn't like Linus Ullmark do that the year that the Bruins set the...
No, because he only played like...
You only played half of them, you're right, never mind.
Yeah, he only played 49 games.
There you go.
That record's never getting touched. Fleury set the overtime record on Wednesday night, 75 overtime wins as a goaltender.
Incredible.
It's
never getting touched.
I think potentially because they introduced overtime, like, and you have to have like a winner, but 691 wins. Like, you think about it, Connor Hellebuck, Andrei Vasilevsky, like Igor Shesterkin, all these guys, like, if they get 500 wins, that'd be insane. We're talking 691 wins. Like, to put it in perspective, and a former NHL goalie said this to me, to put Martin Brodeur's record in perspective. You know how for skaters you get a silver stick for 5,000 games?
Mm-hmm.
The goaltender silver stick is 500 games.
Yeah.
He has 691
wins.
Never mind games. Wins. That is beyond nuts. And yeah, like he's outrageous. So yeah, I there's definitely a few of those records that are not getting touched.
All right, now before we leave, Rachel, I think it was important to talk about something. So, you know what? I will leave the floor to you to talk about this.
Yeah. So on Tuesday night, Ray Shero passed away, and I found out maybe like an hour or two before it went public. I think anyone who'd worked for him kind of found out. It shook me to my core. So much so that Mike and I delayed recording the podcast so that I could kind of put my thoughts together. And just kind of, so, I mean, Ray hired me. He gave me my first chance in the NHL. And I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to read this email that he sent me because it kind of speaks to the man that Ray was. And at the end of the day, Ray was 62 years old. And 62 years old is far too young for anybody to be dying. Mm-hmm. And you could see the outpouring of tributes. Rob Rossi had a fantastic piece in The Athletic, and he was really tight with Ray because of Ray's time in Pittsburgh. But I want to read this email, and I've read it to Mike, but this was December the 19th, 2017. Rachel, I've been following you on Twitter for a while and also read your recent article in The Athletic on the Devils. If you have time, I would love to catch up with you. Having read your background both personally and professionally, I'm so happy you are involved in hockey. The game needs smart, passionate people, and you seem to be exactly that. If you want to touch base, you can reach me at... He left his cell phone number and his email. And he goes, if I didn't mention it, I'm the general manager of the New Jersey Devils. Smiley face. Thanks, Ray Shero. I thought this was a prank because I was like, how did he get my email? And so I emailed back and I was like, hi, Ray. Thanks for reaching out to me and the kind words. It is high praise and brings a smile to my face. Very much appreciated. I'm so glad to hear you enjoy my piece on the Devils. I've really enjoyed watching the team play this season. I'm tying up some loose ends prior to Christmas, but I'd love to chat with you. Is there a time in the next few days that you are available for a phone call? That was December the 19th. On December the 21st, Ray flew me to New Jersey for in-person interviews with him and John and Tom Fitzgerald. And as the clock struck midnight on December the 24th, Ray offered me a job with the Devils. And I'll never forget it. Obviously, my time in New Jersey didn't end the way that it wanted to, but I just can't speak highly enough of Ray in terms of the opportunity that he was willing to give people and the genuine kindness that he showed. There were other people, Kate Madigan, who's now an assistant GM with the New Jersey Devils. Their families have been tight for decades, and he mentored Kate. And Kate has grown and flourished and is one of the only female assistant GMs in the entire league because Ray gave her an opportunity, and Ray believed in her. And there were so many other people that Ray mentored and Ray believed in. And the thing about Ray was he was always a blast. Like, we would go out, and I remember the first time he did this, I was like, whoa! I was 21 years old, and this man ordered Tito's straight up on the rocks. And I was like, yo, this man is drinking vodka on the rocks. This is crazy. But he was awesome. And so when I was working for him, and he said, hey, Rachel, can you teach my son Chris how to cut video so that he can learn how to scout? Absolutely, because Ray gave me my chance. Why would I not help him out? Chris has gone on, and he's now a scout in Columbus. And the thing is that's what Ray does, is he finds people with talent, and he believes in them, and he gives them a chance. And it doesn't always work, but at the end of the day, he's not just going out and hiring his buddies. He was somebody that genuinely cared about everyone in the organization, to the point where, like, if somebody's mother passed away, like when a player's parent passed away, flowers upon flowers were sent. That player got anything they needed. When we signed a player, Ray would have flowers sent to his wife as like a welcome to the team. Like, all of like the little things. And that's just like who he was. And you look at his fingerprints around the league, like, he hired Tom Fitzgerald, he hired Bill Guerin, he hired John Hines, he hired Mike Sullivan. Like, the amount of opportunity he's given people is going to live on in this league for years. And it's just the one thing that really, really hurts. And I saw Ray once after everything happened in New Jersey, and still a great, great man. I really wish that, like, I got to sit down and chat with him, because even though it didn't end well in New Jersey, like, I can't thank him enough. And one of the reasons I can't thank him enough is, one, I got my chance in hockey. But two, my best friend and the maid of honor in my future wedding worked for the Devils, and we're still best friends. And more importantly, the guy I'm marrying, I met December 21st, 2017, because he worked for the New Jersey Devils. And without Ray, I don't have my maid of honor and I don't have my future husband. And over anything, I have him to thank for both of those things, because I genuinely don't know where I'd be without those two people. And I don't know what my life would look like without the opportunity that Ray gave me. And so I'm really going to miss him. Hockey's going to miss him. And I'm absolutely gutted for his wife, Karen, and Chris, and Kyle. And really, like, Kyle's getting married in May. And my heart absolutely breaks for that entire family. It's really tough. And so there are good people in hockey, and there are good people in this world. And when you lose somebody who actually really cares, because there aren't a lot of those people in hockey, it leaves a big hole. And I think you kind of saw that with the reaction around the league. And it's certainly going to take me a little bit to sort of process this, because it really got me thinking about it, just exactly how much Ray meant to my life and kind of what I've become. And we could definitely be a better world if all of us were willing to give opportunities to people the way that Ray Shero was. So, peace to his family, like his wife, his children, his friends, his colleagues, all of that. Hug your loved ones, because you just don't know. And I'm not usually a vodka drinker, but I'm going to have myself a Tito's tonight for him.
I think that was extremely well said, Rachel, and we extend our condolences and thoughts to anyone that Ray touched. And on that note, I'll say go donate to Jumpstart, our charity of choice. Helps kids play, or economically disadvantaged kids play team sports. All the links will be in our description of this episode. And yeah, hug your loved ones. Like, you never know how much time you have left with somebody. And yeah, I think you paid tribute to a titan of industry and a very good man very well, Rachel. So thank you for that. And on that note, we will see you next week. Have a lovely time, and like we said, hug your loved ones.